Oh my word! What did she just do to me? I think we need to be. Oh, I'll tell you after the show. Good morning. It's the moment.
Or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
Who knows? I wonder where people are going to be listening in from today.
Please tell us.
Let us know
tell us how your week's going, even if it is only 6 o'clock in America or parts of it.
Well, we've got Tasha joining us on Wednesday.
6 in the morning,
and she'll be joining us on Wednesday at 6 a.m. Oklahoma time. Yeah. So she's pretty hardcore. Good for her.
Good morning in the States. So hello to you. Let us know how you are. And you're very welcome joining us here on The Moment with the Munsons on New Reality TV, of course. And Tom Evans is our guest, as he is on a Mindful Monday, really, isn't he?
Yeah, Mindful Monday.
Nice start to the week. If you're overwhelmed, inundated with the incoming data of the mundanity of a Monday, Tom is your man.
He is.
Yeah, to help us calm down and get back into a momentary space rather than stricken by thoughts of every kind, as sometimes happens to people on a Monday morning, right? So, Tom, hello to you.
Hi, Tom.
As if by magic.
I love the alliteration of the meditations with the Munsons on a Monday.
Yes, the mundanity of Mondays.
Carl is a wordsmith through and through. We've got Debs joining us as well, saying, good morning, guys. What time is it where you are, Debs? Remind us. So, Tom.
How you doing, Tom?
Oh, good, thanks. Yeah, fantastic. Always good to start the week with you. My weeks have been brighter since we've been doing this.
Oh, that's so nice, lovely. Likewise. What's happened since we last saw you? Because obviously we're meeting with you like once a week, and it just seems to be like it was just yesterday when we last said hello. And I can never quite get over the fact that a whole week has passed. What flavours have come up for you in this week?
Well, I think one of the big things I did this week, because I've been quite driven for many, many years. It's coming up to 20 years. I've been quite driven for 20 years or so. And it's coming up to 20 years since I wrote my first book, and it makes you reflect back. And also I was away for a week just before that because it was our 40th anniversary of being together. So it makes you reflect on your journey, doesn't it?
Nice.
And although I've been enjoying myself a lot with stuff, I'm just taking a new flavor on really of working with joy, really doing the stuff that bring joy to me and hopefully to other people as well. And I've just been a bit lighter on myself, having worked very hard for 20 years, just been a bit lighter with it all. And I've approached, and these Mondays have helped in that regard. It's just like, that you look forward to them, and it's not like a week of work ahead. There's a week of joy to be.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so lovely.
I have
Thank
you.
you.
I have you as that as well, Tom. I'm thinking, we're in such safe hands on a Monday with Tom. He'll just take us on a journey, and it's relaxing, it's centering. So it's mutual Monday mindfulness.
And then we can also attest to the fact that you've been busy for a long time. And we haven't known you 20 years, but we've known you 15, 16 years. I think Carl's known you longer than I have. And you don't stop, do you? I mean, you are like I've got another M, you're like a meditation and mindfulness machine. If you don't mind me saying, I mean, you are the man who, you have approached it like non-stop. You've been prolific.
Well, I got some more M's for you as well, because I published something this morning.
So we actually, sorry, Mother Mulberry's just joined us. Sorry, more M's.
We probably won't get round to what we're going to talk about today at all, because it's just nice to talk about the M's, isn't it? So I'm pretty much stopping doing meditations now.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Shock horror.
I'm only doing meditales.
Okay.
So they're stories which are meditative in their own right. So I write them in trance. People will get in trance because I use hypnotic language in them. And they're very specifically metaphysical meditales. So there's two new M's for you, yeah? So metaphysical meditales they're going to be. And they're stories which are quite bonkers because... And by being bonkers, are they fiction? Are they real? Whatever, they're kind of in between the two. And we must remember what meta means. Meta means in Greek means beyond. So metaphysics is beyond today's physics. If you know what I mean. So the best way I've discovered over the 20 years of writing books now, and pretty much all my new books are metaphysical, but they've got an element of dystopian science fiction, if you like. But they're all about the boundaries. And I always think that today's metaphysics is tomorrow's physics. You know, the same way that Gene Roddenberry came up with a communicator in the 60s, didn't he? We've all got a communicator nowadays called mobile. Another M.
M for mobile. And more M's, messing with minds. I mean, this is what's going on in the best possible way, isn't it? Is our minds are being messed with, generally speaking, and we can choose that the messing with the mind is in a positive and useful direction for us. Are you going for a book there, Mrs. M? Yeah. You are Mrs. M. Oh my God. She's gone to find something on the back shelf there.
I was trying to find. I hope you all didn't get a massive look at my bottom.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, yeah. Mesmerizing. Another M. Go on.
I was trying to look for Tom Soulwave's book because I've got two of your books, haven't I? I've got Soul Waves and the other one I can't remember what it's called. But
Soul Waves Insertions, the short stories.
Thank you, Insertions. And talking about your metaphysical tales and your way of writing that might not necessarily be on the reality that we know right now. I can absolutely put my hand up and say I loved every minute of reading Soul Waves. It was really fantastic, really quite out there. I just wanted to give you a plug, so I kind of have anyway, but
well, what's interesting about Soul Waves, because I actually wrote the original Soul Waves before I wrote my very first book that I published back in 2005.
Seriously? But it took a long time to birth.
Yeah, and I sat on it for 15 years and 15 other books before I published it, and in 2020. But it's based in Beijing and Wuhan, and it's written in. It starts.
No way.
Oh, it is actually.
It starts, before COVID was a thing.
Yes.
And it's not about COVID, but it does. It's like a call of future history. So I've written it in the past tense, in the future. So I've written it from 2058 onwards, and it talks about the end of life as we know it on Earth in 2109. But I wrote it from the future perspective, and I said, oh, and by the way, in the 20s, which is like what we're in now, the current superpowers waned slightly. we're not going to mention them at the moment, but the superpowers that we call the superpowers fell off the rails and waned, and China became the dominant power on the planet because it had a longer term strategy, although at the moment it's seen to be demonized and what have you. So it's almost foretelling what is going on right now with all the craziness.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's very useful to be able to drift off into a book and to sort of embrace a new world in your mind's eye, because I think it gives you a space to imagine something new. And in fact, Mother Mulberry, who's joining us from South Africa, is saying, ironically, mind manipulation is a theme in my fantasy novel.
Or perhaps synchronistically.
Yeah.
There, Mother Mulberry's Tea Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we mustn't move on without mentioning where these books can be bought, Tom, because people might be thinking, hey, hold on a minute, that sounds interesting. I need to get that. How do people get hold of your books?
Well, they're all on the traditional bookshops, your Amazons and your Barnes and Nobles, and they're available in print, in ebook, and in audiobook. But also, I've serialized them on Insight Timer as well. So if you've got an Insight Timer premium subscription, you can get to them. And
very good.
Talking about reaching for something, I won't show you my bottom. I'm just starting to serialize on Insight Timer the third in the installment, which is called the Duodex. And this, I don't know, because
hold on. We need to zoom in on you for this. Hold on.
That is a Duodex. That is a dodecahedron, a 12-sided shape. And the idea in Soul Waves is that it describes the transition of us as Epoch 5 humanity evolving into Epoch 6. It just means that we've got to decimate all life on Earth for that to happen. But that happens many, many times. It happened when
decimate. There's a numerical reference. Decimate.
Decimate. Yeah. So anyway, so then the Duodex is set in the very far future, and it's all about going from Epoch 6 to Epoch 7. So we're about to evolve into becoming planetary guardians, having been planetary abusers for a long time, and then
feels like it.
In Epoch 7 we become cosmic guardians. We learn how to learn how to create stars and solar systems and manage things at a more cosmological level.
Some might say as well, Tom, some of us already can. Looking at you.
Exactly. Well, it starts earlier. Yeah. So the Duodex is sent from the future to the past.
Yeah.
And this is a replica of 33 that got sent back to Roman times.
Now, have you got a 3D printer? Is that how you?
No,
make...
I found it on eBay. Someone's making them on eBay.
Are they?
So we go from like the metaphysical to now, mate, you can get it off eBay.
and it kind of relates to this as well. This is a 12-sided dice.
I'm going to zoom in. How many sides?
There's 12-sided dice.
Yeah. Okay.
And what it relates to is this. You know, on a standard dice, you got the opposite numbers all add up to 7. So 6 and 1 are opposite. All three opposite. On a 12-sided dice, the opposite numbers add up to 13. And part of this transition as us advancing and awakening to the 13th level consciousness, which is one above 12.
Very good. Tom, can I ask you quickly here? I mean, it sounds like this is quite a very regular conversation about the whole future of humanity. How's it going? Is everything going according to plan?
Yeah, well, the thing is that it's been planned a long time. Everything's been the best way to think about the way things are going is everything is preordained, but we've also got the free will to change everything. And while we're stuck in the duality, we can't understand why that paradox, why those two things can coexist. So it's all preordained, a few wobbles and what have you. But the bigger picture is there is more light in the world, and there's more positivity, and there's more good things happening in the world. It's just that the not so good things are getting all the press and all the attention.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Definitely.
And
which
yet
is
without them, we wouldn't
what we're doing with new reality, isn't it? We're creating this new reality.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a well-chosen name, in fact.
Yeah, it's perfectly named. I mean, what occurs to me in terms of like any reference to sort of like bad stuff that's coming into our awareness is I think it's waking people up very quickly or kind of shocking people into their senses and back into the body. I've been thinking quite a lot about obviously because from an astrology perspective, sorry, this is not what we were going to talk about today, but I love the fact that we've gone off on a massive tangent. We're moving from a real sort of like Pisces mindset into an Aries mindset. And what occurs to me with Pisces, and I've been reading quite a lot of metaphysical books in the last couple of months, and so Pisces, and you're Pisces, you've got your birthday coming up this week actually, so happy birthday in advance. The Pisces sort of energy is so kind of far out, like there's no boundaries, and it really is like the unconscious. It's like the seas, the oceans of infinity. And earlier, I think yesterday, I was kind of meditating because I'm not that, but I was in my mind's eye. All of a sudden, the idea of the seas came up in my mind, and I realized, a lot of our biblical stories, like the parting of the seas, etc. I was thinking of
Jesus calming the seas,
and just as we were talking about that,
yes.
Tasha shows up. Yeah. But as I was like thinking about the sort of Pisces energy and the oceans of infinity and infinite consciousness, I was imagining it like the shape of a big brain, and of course we've got the center of, we've got the left brain and the right brain, and then as I was thinking about Aries, which is like a strong line, it's like a directional force. I guess loads of people have been talking about mindfulness, the big mind, for so long, like the Pisces energy. And, people are talking about integrating the left and the right. And of course, if you integrate the left and the right, as far as I see, you're able to get a sort of directional force, which to me seems like the Aries kind of energy starting to move forwards, like where you don't doubt yourself, where you're not second guessing yourself. And the thing that really brought it to mind was the fact that, what appears to be a blood vessel in my eye burst over the weekend, and Carl said, "Oh my God, you need to calm the hell down." But I was thinking, like it's so close to my brain, it's on one side, like what is going on? Like, is this like the left side of the brain is all about rationality? Is my rational side finally giving up the ghost? Am I just going to go real? Like, I don't know, but there's something going. It's almost like the reality that I've been holding on to is maybe rebooting or undoing, refocusing or coming back into balance. I mean, it's so funny because that evening I was actually doing a talk about Aries, and you don't really get a stronger symbol of Aries than the head and blood. So it's like I'm a living experiment at the moment. I don't know. I just wanted to put that in.
Well, I'd take a picture of it and send it to Amy Doty.
Do you know what? I think I'm going to. It's been really hard. I need to get Carl to do it because it's like pretty.
It took me ages to get my photographs done. So especially the left eye, because the eyes swap over. So something going on in your right brain that's affecting the left eye.
Wow.
So
I mean, the thing is, I'm having shifts in both sides at the moment.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hemispherical disturbances. Right. We were going to talk about flavors of thought, because in our mindful journey, in our discussions with you on a Monday, Tom, it brought us to meditating on thought, didn't it? Which took us into a little detour of flavors of thought that came up and was mentioned last week. So should we have a little bit of a chat about that?
Yeah, we won't be able to do it all today, but I always felt it was about 3 or 4 Mondays discussions anyway. So what we can do today is maybe just introduce the concept, and then it'd be great if we can get somebody that's on the call to come up with a thing for next week, and we'll use the flavors to address that thing. That'd be a good thing to do with it. So it's not just us. Yes, I'll give you some background to it. So I was got introduced to the tarot pretty much early on in my writing journey. In fact, I wrote 2 books on it, one in 2009 and one in 2012. And I thought the tarot was a bit bonkers, really. And then got someone introduced me to it and said, well, actually, it's nothing to do with fortune telling. The major arcana, 22 cards, the major arcana, describe 22 modes of consciousness. Now they're archetypes, they're archetypal modes of consciousness, and the minor arcana describes us as three-dimensional spirits, as 9-dimensional spirits having a 3-dimensional experience. So it describes the 4 suits are the 9th dimension, 7th dimension, 5th dimension, and 3rd dimension. And I think we'll go into that when we finish the flavor of thought discussion, because that's fascinating and it's got the element of 4 to it as well. So I read this book by Paul Foster Case called The Key to the Wisdom of Ages, and I vibrated as I read it. I could feel my aura changing, expanding. I could hardly understand it, but it was affecting me at a deep level. And in it, he just mentioned not even half a page. He said, "This is how you see the cards." So we see the cards, don't we, as a deck like that? We see them as a deck.
Yeah.
But that doesn't give you any insight as to how they're arranged, and they're arranged in 3 rows of 7 with 1 at the top. And the 3 rows of 7 relate to 3 different types of thought that we have. So we're talking about thought going quiet, weren't we, in that meditation? But it describes different modes of thought, and the 3 areas of thought are what we call ethereal whispers, so thoughts that come off the top of our head against the thought stream. Thoughts I call unconscious nerves that percolate up from the lower mind centers, the feeling that we're in a room, it doesn't feel quite right, or something's just happened and we must address it, those sort of things. And then we've got another row of 7 thoughts, which are the conscious modes of thought. And what he said in the book, and again, this was just in 1 page of it, he said, if you combine 1 each from the flavors together, you end up creating what is effectively a modern day spell. And now here's the thing, is when you got 22 things, the number of permutations when you combine them all together is something like it's 22 factorial, so it's 22 times 21 times 20. It's about 51 trillion. Because I found out you can
approximately,
it's more seconds than we got in the universe so far. And so I discovered we could also create 5 flavor spells and 7 flavor spells. And so I wrote this book called Flavors of Thought: Recipes for Fresh Thinking. But also you can do there's 2 master spells as well. There's a configuration of the tarot where it's on a cube, which, funny enough, has got 12 aspects with a 13th in the middle, which is
and you've been taking people through the cube experience for quite a long time.
This has got every single mode of thought on it. But what you can do when you use a mode of thought, you basically do a reframe. So when someone's done a card reading for you, all they're doing is reframing your thinking. They're going, you were thinking like this, have a think about it in this context as well. And here's some cards, and you might do a Celtic cross or a circle or whatever, but all the cards are doing is reframing your thinking. Same as when
that's how I use astrology, Tom.
Exactly, I was about to say. So you took the word right out of my mouth, which is beautiful. So the astrology is changing your thinking, seeing things in a different perspective. By taking the tarot, though, and where you've got something like the Hierophant, saying, well, the essence of that is a single word. the essence of that is our ability to connect. So I call that the flavor of connection. Two things happen. One is that you haven't got to do years and years of study of the tarot. All you've got to do is think about connections, think about us as connectors, the way that we connect with each other, the way that we forge connections, and we see a connection that wasn't there before, which is an amazing feature. You know, this is something that we might be unique at doing in the known animal kingdom. We can take two things which are disparate, connect them together, and make a third. That idea that 1 and 1 can make 3. And so the flavor of connection is a fantastically powerful one, because you can take two other flavors and then combine them together, and then you make a new connection, and all of a sudden you've got a new thing that didn't exist before, which is what we're very good at as humans. And especially at a time when there's lots of disconnection in the world, isn't it? We can actually get two things in the world that are fragmented together, put heads together, and see that there's some common ground. We're going to be in a beautiful place as a result of it. Yeah. So the flavors I found really powerful. I found they worked. The first person I used as my guinea pig is someone you know very well, Jackie Walker. She's now called Jackie Roberts. And Jackie was my beta reader, and we'd play with flavors and spells together, and some amazing transformations would happen. And what happened as a result of it is I just developed a brand new tool for human expansion, consciousness, and healing as well. So it's amazing how you can heal with these recipes. And also, I love a good metaphor. So if you got recipes, you can have master chefs, can't you, and this sort of stuff. And
of course, sous chefs,
all that kind of stuff.
Gallery maids.
And then on New Reality TV shortly, we're going to have Melanie is going to be coming, and Melanie Underwood's going to be launching a mindful cooking show where we're going to sort of merge a bit of alchemy with.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
So your show's practical alchemy, isn't it? And
it is, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So do you want us to bring up your slide that you?
Yeah. So just bring it up.
Is this the right one, Tom?
That will do. Yeah, that's the one without the tarot references on it. So it's just just the flavors themselves.
Ethereal whispers, unconscious murmurs, directions,
and then the obvious is the Fool in the tarot, which the Fool is the wisest card in the tarot. And what we can do is we can just take any flavor from the bottom row. So let's just tell me which of those words from perception through to comprehension takes your fancy.
Reception for me.
Collection for me.
Collection. So let's just muse on that. Is there anything at the moment you want a bit of insight upon?
Is that for me, Tom?
Any, both of you?
Yeah. Yes, I have a membership. Do you want some specifics?
Yeah, let's do it. We've got about
in my other day job, I have a membership of Good Morning Portugal, and I was just doing some work this morning on encouraging people to join my membership. So
that's a collection of people, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
Well, funnily enough, I was going to ask about putting my membership stuff
Seriously,
out there.
okay,
we were both going to ask about
membership. Yeah.
And you were going reception to welcome you. I was going collection money.
Let's do a really simple. Let's do a really simple and quick spell. Let's go vertically up to revolution, right?
Okay.
So revolution is the hangman, and the hangman sees the world upside down. So just imagine looking at your predicament at the moment, which is you want some more members and you can't see them, right? And so just be open to seeing the way of collecting members as being completely different from the way you've ever done it before.
Yeah.
Okay. Now move up one more to the top row of connection, which is funny enough what I was talking about before. So we're creating a recipe now with collection, revolution, connection. And then what could you do with the current membership to connect with more members? So rather than you having to do the increasing members, what can the current members do to connect you with more people?
Yes.
Is that what you're
thinking? And then you end up at the obvious solution.
Yeah.
That you had to do nothing. All you got to do is stir the pot effectively.
Yes.
And the members will come.
Yeah.
And that's really quick and simple, maybe a little bit simplistic, but it just shows you how we've just done a reframe that your predicament isn't your predicament, because actually all the members will get more benefit by there being more members of higher quality. And if they're people that they brought in as well, then even better still.
You'll want to hang out with the people that they shared it with.
Want to hang out with, yeah.
Absolutely. And that reminds me of Jackie that you mentioned, our good friend Jackie Walker, because years ago I was setting up an astrology membership, and I asked Jackie if she was going to be a member, what would she like to see? And she mentioned, well, why don't you offer each member to be able to invite one of their friends along? And that's what we did, and it really worked beautifully.
It's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah. And we do that often. We came up with the solution ages ago in a different context, and we forget that we've done it before.
Yeah, of course.
And it's that easy. Yeah.
So I wonder if anyone, like if you're watching, I know we've got Mother Mulberry, we've got Debs, we've got Tasha, who are in the chat room. If you've got something that you'd like us to quickly, or tell us which ones. Okay, we've got Deb saying,
no sooner asked than
could you walk through excitation?
I will, yeah. What I think we do is we'll do, let's make excitation right next to germination. That's a lovely seed. What I'd like to do is to do a 7 flavor recipe next week, right? So we're going to take the flavors of excitation, germination, reception, go one up to replication, and we'll use a bit of isolation, a bit of equilibrium. And then we'll move to a flavor in the top row. It might be a deduction or it might be validation. I'll go use validation and we'll end up at the office. We'll do a 7 flavor recipe next week, show you how you can put these things together. But there's one thing I want to just mention about excitation right now, is that it's a motive force, not a state of being. So it's not you getting excited or being excitable. It's about you setting things in to excitation. So by saying we'll do this next week, I'm not moving into this mode of doing. I'm just setting up the potential that is going to unfold next week.
Tasha's saying, I'd love to see the tarot overlay of this chart. And I was just thinking excitation. I was thinking excitation. Which card is that? And I was going through the major arcana. I was wondering if it was like the devil, because there's a lot of excitement there. But I was also thinking the star, because the star is very new and fresh. You've got it there.
You got it.
Let's put them on full screen for a moment.
Okay, but I think Tom's saying we've got it. Is
it the next? Yeah. Okay. It's the next slide. Yeah.
There we go. Oh, it's the tower.
Yeah,
very exciting.
So the tower is about the Tower of Babel and things coming crashing down, and then being replaced with a new reality. So that's where it comes from.
Wow.
Oh,
so it's the force of excitation of the new. So getting the new by taking the old away, the old that doesn't serve anymore.
Okay, so a date in the diary then. That's like note to self, and
next Monday.
To pop in your diary to meet again here in this place 30 minutes ago in this time and space next Monday, if that's not too confusing.
And maybe come with something that you want to work with.
Is that a good idea, Tom?
Yeah. So we'll use excitation as the seed.
Yeah.
And germination's right next to it. So I feel that we'd be great to bring that in as well. Actually, the devil is such a good motive force too. So let's bring key 15, 16, and 17 to bear. As we've got the key numbers up as well, we'll also bring the numerology in next week. So I'll work out what they sum to.
I love this. Thank you so much, Tom.
And these are in the Flavours of Thought book if people want to download the ways that you spoke about. Okay, so Deb, great. Screenshots are good. He'll be here next Monday. He certainly will. Yep. And a big thank you as well in caps from Tasha as well there. So let's reconvene because we've only got about 30 seconds left on today's show. It always flies by.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Tom. We look forward to seeing you again next week. And we're grateful to you, Deb, as well as Tasha and Mother Mulberry's Tea Club. Mother Mulberry, let's not overlook this. Been a very emotional weekend, experienced so many hurdles that now I'm realizing it feels more like herding than hurdles. May you all have more herding than hurdles this week.
Well, only if you like herding. Like, I mean, that might be to manage everyone.
Makes me think of cats. But it does sound like an improvement. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Of love.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye for now.